Imagine being on a plane that is about to be hijacked. It is November 24th, 1971, a day like any other in the skies aboard Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305. Flight 305 takes off. The passengers, just like you and I, settle in, whispering about their planned schedules, absolutely oblivious about what is about to happen. Among the passengers is a man, unremarkable at first glance, clad in a business suit, known to us now as D.B Cooper, blends seamlessly with his surroundings. Prior to revealing his intentions, nothing about Cooper's behavior or appearance drew particular attention or suspicion from the crew or fellow passengers. But beneath this rather unimpressive exterior lay a mystery that would captivate and baffle the world for decades to come.
A daring parachute escape from a flying 727 somewhere between wings.
A search was made of the plane immediately.
We don't know who he was, where he came from, or where he went. I expect that we'll keep looking until we find him or find out what happened.
This was a man who had meticulously planned every detail, blending into his environment with such precision that he aroused no suspicion. He was polite and composed as a deliberate strategy that allowed him to gain the upper hand. As the Boeing 727 slices through the cloudy skies from Portland to Seattle, Cooper calmly signals a flight attendant. With a polite nod, he hands her a note. "I have a bomb," the note declares. Walking up the aisle, the flight attendant unfolds the note. The attendant, trained for emergencies but not for negotiations with a hijacker, walks back to Cooper. The hijacking of Flight 305 has begun. Cooper, maintaining his composure, opens his briefcase slightly, allowing a glimpse of the bomb. Red sticks surrounded by wires, an image straight out of a suspense thriller. The attendant's eyes widen, the gravity of the situation sinking in, understanding the assignment before her, and moves to inform the cockpit. In the cockpit, disbelief gives way to action. The pilots, seasoned yet unprepared for such an encounter, quickly establish communication with air traffic control, which in turn alerts the authorities. Back in the cabin, Cooper delineates his demands: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a flight route to ensure his escape. The specificity and clarity of his requests suggest meticulous planning, a stark contrast to the chaos brewing around him. The flight crew, acting as intermediaries, negotiate not just for the lives aboard, but for the safety of countless others on the ground. As word of the hijacking spreads through the cabin, a panic begins to spread. Passengers whisper, fear and confusion in their eyes. On the ground, the FBI and local authorities scramble to meet Cooper's demands, aware that any misstep could escalate the situation. Following Cooper's instructions, his demands are met. As the plane lands in Seattle under the cloak of darkness, a convoy of police and emergency vehicles stands ready. The exchange of the passengers for the ransom and parachutes is a moment of high tension and precise movements under the watchful eyes of snipers and law enforcement. With the passengers safely off the plane and the ransom delivered, the aircraft doors are closed on the tarmac of Seattle-Tacoma Airport. Cooper then orders the aircraft back into the sky. As the saga of Flight 305 continues, Cooper's plan is far from over with the Seattle skyline fading into the night. He prepares for the final act. The cabin, once filled with the quiet murmur of travelers, now hosts a silent duel between a hijacker and the authorities at 10,000 feet. The plane is now to head to Mexico City, flying low to avoid radar detection, showcasing not just a desire for escape, but a knowledge of aviation that puzzled investigators for years to come. As night enveloped the cabin, somewhere above the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, Cooper makes his move. He strapped on a parachute, tied the ransom money to his waist, and stepped into the cold night air, jumping from the rear air stair of the Boeing 727. As if after an eternity, the plane, now missing its mysterious passenger, would land safely. But D.B. Cooper had vanished into the night, along with the cash, leaving behind a trail of speculation and myth. The search for Cooper became one of the most extensive manhunts in U.S. history. Despite years of effort, the identity of the hijacker remained as elusive as the man himself. In 1980, a break seemed to surface when a young boy found a decaying package of $20 bills from the ransom money on the Columbia River. Yet, this clue only deepened the mystery, offering no answers to Cooper's fate or whereabouts. The legend of D.B. Cooper became a symbol of the ultimate unsolved mystery. Who was he? Was he a daring adventurer who survived his leap into the unknown, living out his days under a new identity? Or did the wilderness claim him, leaving no trace of his existence? The debate continues, and the story of D.B. Cooper remains a captivating enigma. The story of D.B. Cooper is a mystery that remains unsolved, inviting us to look closer, question deeper, and imagine what might have been. And so we turn the page over to you, our audience. Could a new perspective shed light on this decades-old puzzle? What do you believe happened to D.B. Cooper? Do leave a comment below. Until next time, do subscribe to our channel and stay curious.